Welcome to this presentation of the BLM Rand Historic Mining Complex Operable Unit 3, or OU3, removal action. This online presentation is in lieu of a public meeting due to state-mandated COVID-19 social distancing orders. OU3 is associated with the Johannesburg area mines, including the Marigold mines, located on BLM-managed land near Johannesburg, California. The Marigold mines were intermittently mined for gold from the mid-1890s to the present day. The original claims were operated by the Randsburg Gold Mining, Milling, and Water Company, which constructed several shafts around the site. The mine is said to have operated a 5-stamp mill around 1915 and later a 10-stamp mill to mill 35,000 tons of ore prior to 1923. Multiple mining companies claim the site through present day. Historic mining and milling processes produced mine tailings and waste rock as byproducts. Tailings are left over after the valuable portion of the ore is extracted from the uneconomic gangue portion, while waste rock is excavated overburden material removed to access the ore. Tailings are very fine-grained and tend to migrate via wind or water, while waste rock is generally larger and less mobile. Both tailings and waste rock will be cleaned up at OU3 as part of the removal process. The Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation and Liability Act, or CERCLA, authorizes the BLM to permanently and significantly reduce the dangers associated with the release of hazardous substances. In the case of OU3, the primary hazardous substance is arsenic in tailings and waste rock piles. The CERCLA process for cleaning up a site includes site assessment and investigation, human and ecological risk assessments, development and comparison of cleanup alternatives, proposing the preferred alternative to the public, accepting and responding to public comments, producing the record of decision to document the alternative, implementing the cleanup alternative, and conducting long-term maintenance to ensure the alternative is effective. BLM has selected the preferred alternative for OU3 and is currently in the community involvement step of the CERCLA process. Two sites associated with the Rand Historic Mining Complex, Kelly Silver and Yellow Aster mines, were cleaned up under time-critical removal action. The removal action at Kelly Silver Mine Operable Unit 1, or OU1, was completed from 2008 to 2019. The time-critical removal action at Yellow Aster Mine Operable Unit 2, or OU2, was also completed from 2008 to 2019. Both of these sites followed the CERCLA process and included community involvement. OU3 consists of two main tailings piles approximately 300 feet apart, which are currently referred to as Marigold East and Marigold West. The mines associated with these tailings piles include the Phoenix Mine, formerly the Valverde Mine, and the Pinmore Mine. Marigold West consists of one main tailings pile, which is estimated to be 18 feet thick with erosional rills from surface water runoff. Tailings have migrated via surface runoff west into Johannesburg Wash. A large waste rock pile is situated up-gradient and east-southeast of the tailings piles. Several small waste rock piles associated with the numerous shafts and adits are scattered throughout Marigold West mining area. The Marigold West tailings pile covers approximately 1.4 acres, and the main waste rock pile covers approximately 4 acres. Marigold East consists of a main tailings pile, several waste rock piles, and numerous adits and shafts. Tailings from the main tailings pile have migrated via surface runoff west into Johannesburg Wash. The remnants of milling equipment are present through the Marigold East mining area, consisting of a large tank, two concrete foundations or holding ponds, and footings from the stamp mills. The Marigold East tailings pile covers approximately 2.6 acres, and the main waste rock pile covers approximately 1 acre. The goal of completing remedial activities at OU3 is to reduce exposure of humans, wildlife, and native plants to arsenic contamination and to reduce potential transport of arsenic-contaminated sediment via wind or stormwater runoff. the BLM completed assessments of human health and ecological exposure risk based on the levels of arsenic at OU3. Arsenic was selected because it is the most prevalent contaminant and carries the highest risk for prolonged exposure at the site. The BLM developed remedial action objectives for OU3 that include reducing exposure of humans to arsenic and specifically reducing exposure of recreational users from inhaling airborne soil particles and dust during off-highway vehicle or OHV use. Reducing exposure of plants and wildlife, including desert tortoises, controlling and reducing stormwater run-on and runoff that could cause erosion of tailings and waste rock, and controlling and reducing migration of tailings and waste rock due to wind and water. Based on these remedial action objectives, several remedial alternatives were compared to determine the best cleanup option for OU3. These alternatives included performing no action. This is included as a baseline for comparing other potential response actions. Performing passive exposure reduction through institutional controls by fencing off contaminated materials. Installation of an on-site repository or waste cell to consolidate tailings and waste rock into, and removal of mine waste and consolidation at OU2. The preferred alternative for OU3 is to consolidate tailings piles, waste rock piles, and associated contaminated soils into a graded and compacted repository at the Marigold East area. Native plants would be planted on top of the repository areas, fencing would be installed around the perimeter, and surface water diversion ditches would be installed on the uphill side. On-site historical structures pose minimal risk and would be left in place. The preferred alternative was selected over other options because it is expected to eliminate the risks posed by arsenic contamination at OU3 and because it can be more readily implemented than transporting the material to the OU2 repository on the west side of Highway 395. Based on information currently available, the BLM believes that this alternative meets the CERCLA criteria and provides the best balance and value among the alternatives. The estimated cost to complete the work is $1.9 million. This map shows the current location of tailings, waste rock, and associated contaminated soil to be removed in purple, and the proposed locations of the repositories, perimeter fencing, and surface water diversion ditches to be installed near Marigold East area. The perimeter fencing would be put in place to prevent damage to the cap from recreational use and to promote native plant growth by limiting wildlife access. Drainage ditches would be installed to prevent surface water from running onto the capped repository and causing erosion. The yellow hatch pattern at the bottom of the map indicates private property boundaries. This proposed timeline shows the current trajectory for the removal action process at OU3. The public comment period for the removal action at OU3 began on June 8, 2020 and lasts 30 days until July 8, 2020. After addressing any public comments, the BLM will finalize the record of decision by the end of 2020. The design plans for the removal action are anticipated to be completed in 2021, and the remediation of the site is anticipated to be completed by 2023. Ongoing and long-term maintenance will continue for at least 5 years at the site, and depending on when the remediation is complete, a 5-year remedy review analysis will be conducted in 2028 to evaluate the effectiveness of the remediation. You can request a copy of the proposed plan, schedule a time to view the administrative record, or submit comments by emailing Sterling White, the BLM California Desert District, Abandoned Mine Lands, Hazardous Materials Program Lead at swhite@blm.gov. Thank you for viewing this BLM removal action plan for the Rand Historic Mining Complex Operable Unit 3.